What is up everyone, and welcome to some more F1 23 League Racing. We are back in the Streamers and Co VRL for round number 10 of this 12 race season, inaugural season, and it is going to be in Japan, one of my favorite tracks on this year's calendar. I'm sure that some of you will know this if you've been keeping up to date with my Team series as well. We recently had a pretty good race there just a few days ago actually, so if you haven't seen that video, go check that one out as well. But for now, yes, we are going to be taking part in this league, and things are heating up. The top spot in the championship has been absolutely finessed by Dougie Falcons. If he gets P8 here today, he is mathematically definitely the champion, with 2 races left after this one. However, I really don't see him doing any worse than that. And yeah, in order for him to be still not wrapped up as the champion, it requires either Ringy or Lewis to win this race with fastest lap, basically. They can only drop 3 points, and they also need Dougie to score no points for the rest of the season, basically. So yeah, that is going to be very tricky for those guys, but I don't have to worry about that. I'm probably in a battle for P2, P3, P4 roughly in the championship, that sort of range. Ringy and Lewis are both on 81 points, and then I believe myself, Ryan, and Phil are all in the mid to high 70s in this championship. So we're all not looking too bad at the moment. But yeah, I'm currently down in P6, I believe. So I do need to have a good result here today, preferably ahead of Ryan and Phil at the very least. And if I can get ahead of Ringy and Lewis as well, that would be fantastic. And it all starts here in qualifying. My first 2 laps, you might have seen, weren't very good. But on my 3rd flying lap, I managed to finally string it together, and we improved by about 7 tenths into the 127s just. And we actually split Phil and Ryan there. 127.9 for myself, I believe it was a 27.8 for Phil, and a 28.0 for Ryan. So yeah, the 3 of us very, very close here. It's Dougie on pole, and then Dustin, who is a little bit of a dark horse in this championship as well. He's a little bit further adrift of the rest of us, but not massively. So a few good results his way, and all of a sudden he could be contending for a top 3 spot in the championship instead. Phil, while he is in 5th in the championship at the moment, he is going to be missing the final 2 races due to being on holiday. So that kind of puts him out of contention. So I feel like really it's going to be between Lewis, Ringy, myself and Ryan, and possibly Dustin for those last 2 spaces on the top 3. And we want those because there's a financial incentive to be there. The winner of the league gets a certain amount of money, and then 2nd and 3rd get a little bit less money each. It looks like it's going to be Dougie on pole unless Dustin can do anything here to stop him. No, he can't, but it's a 126.6 for the both of them. Very close. 6 tenths ahead of Lewis Crazy here, unless he has anything to say. And Lewis Crazy kind of in a no man's land. A few tenths ahead of Alex and Anto here. Alex is Ringy, by the way. I believe he changed his name at some point partway through the season. But yeah, Lewis in a bit of a no man's land here. Should be an easy P3 for him today, regardless of what happens. But we have to settle for P8. It's not terrible. I'm relatively happy with that performance. Given who was racing today, you know, Anto doesn't take part very often, and he is a little bit faster than me. Same with Blitz as well. He's another reserve, standing in for Damo this week, who couldn't race due to commitments elsewhere. But yeah, it is Dougie from Dustin, from Lewis, from Ringy, from Anto, from Blitz, from Phil, from myself, Ryan, and then GG Josh rounds out the top 10 there. So it will be interesting to see where this goes, where this leads, and who finishes where in the race. If I can get a top 5 finish here, that'll be pretty good. But then again, if Ryan and Phil are also in the top 5, then I probably want to get ahead of them. Those are the guys I want to be racing with. Japan, it's a relatively strong circuit for me, I would say, and it looks like, if you saw in the session forecast there is actually a little bit of rain on the horizon a little bit later on. So maybe we could do something with that. It doesn't look like it's going to get particularly heavy or be there for too long. So I'm thinking about what strategy I want to do. I was thinking about doing a medium soft here, going from the mediums on lap 11 onto the softs, and then going on them for 8 laps. But then I thought to myself, well, if the rain is coming at the very end of the race, it might get heavy enough for intermediate conditions, especially if there's a safety car, which there so often is around this track, just due to the nature of how sort of tight some of the corners are and stuff like that. So I thought I would take a set of hard compound tires, and I'm going to try and wait out the rain and then go immediately onto inters. I think a lot of people who are starting on the softs here are going to be doing a 2-stop. I'm going to try and do a 1-stop. Yes, with the safety cars, there is all the chance in the world that it might not work out for me, but we'll see whether it works as the lights come on and the lights go out, and we've had a good getaway compared to Phil there. I think he will be marginally faster just off the back of the fact that he's on those soft compound tires, but actually we're pulling alongside him and away and up through the first couple of corners. I think we might get ahead of him, but is he going to try and squeeze around the outside? Yes, he is, and he's back into P7. Blitz, meanwhile, has jumped Anto up into P5, and Ryan is directly behind us. Beak all the way up into P10. He's had a great start. I think he was 13th or 14th in qualifying, so that's been a good start for him. And yeah, now we just have to see what we can do. Ryan on those soft compound tires, I imagine, will be itching to get past us as soon as he can through the Degners, not able to do it. And now we come to the hairpin. Will he be able to get past me here? I know he's going to go for a move. He's looking up the inside. He's diving up the inside. I'm going to leave him a bit of room. And yeah, our fight is not with him for the time being. He's on the soft compound tires. He will definitely be boxing before the rain comes. No doubt about it. I don't think the rain is going to come till at least about lap 13 or thereabouts. You would have to say it looked like it was going to come right at the end of the race, if it even comes at all. So yeah, we don't have to worry about that right now. What we have to worry about is just trying not to lose too many positions, and if there is a safety car, making sure that we are in a position to capitalise on it. So I was a little bit concerned when they sent that message about the radar being clear, because I was like, well, in that case, I may be on completely the wrong strategy here. But we'll see what happens, as Anto briefly went off the track there, but he's managed to stay in P6. Regardless, Dougie Falcon's leading the charge at the moment from his teammate Dustin, and then I believe it's the 2 Mercedes, but I'm not sure the configuration of them after that. But yeah, we're running in P9 at the moment, on for some good points. Phil and Ryan right here as well. Obviously, we can't just sit back and let this happen. As Anto went off the track there, actually, we managed to get past him, so that was good. Up into P8 now, and yeah, we need to try and score as many points as we can. We can't let the likes of Dustin and Blitz score too many points, because while they are behind us in the championship, there is a mathematical chance for the two of them to catch me. So it is important. Antoine, my teammate, not racing this weekend, of course, but no prizes for the constructors, so don't have to worry about that. Someone, Anderson there, diving up the inside and almost going for the move, but then backed out of it at last second. And actually, I think he's lost out a little bit there by the looks of things. I don't know if him and Anto got caught up in a battle, but it looks like Anto is going to go for the move back on me as we come towards the end of lap 2, start of lap 3. Indeed, he does. He's made his way through and up into P8, and we're back down into P9. But that's okay. You know, he's on the mediums, I'm on the hards, and he's just an all-round faster driver as well, I would say. We come to the end of lap 3, start of lap 4 now, and yeah, we are still running in P9. Anderson a little bit further behind us. Meanwhile, Beak 7 seconds down. And there's a yellow flag there, and safety car's been deployed. Beak out of the session, so I'm assuming, yeah, maybe he had a crash with Doddy or something like that. I actually did, I did watch back the footage of this crash, because Beak submitted a clip of it to the channel, to the Discord channel, and yeah, he basically got driven into by Doddy, so that was not great for his race, but it did end both of their races, sadly, and may have ramifications for the championship for both of them. That said, though, Beak has only taken part in one session so far, so yeah, we'll see what kind of implications that have. A few people did pit under the safety car, as you would expect, and that's promoted us up into P4. So actually, this promotes a really good opportunity for us. If the rain comes when I want it to, and we have the opportunity to go onto the intermediate tyres, we could be looking really, really good here. But we have to pounce at the right time, and yeah, we will see. We'll make sure that we do pounce at the right time, as we actually make a bit of contact there with Blitz, get him a bit out of shape. But fortunately, Dougie didn't go until it was a little bit later, and so we were able to not lose out too many positions, and likewise things stayed pretty much as they were. But yeah, I don't know what was going on there. I think maybe Blitz took a bit of a wider line because Dougie was going quite slowly, just caught me out a little bit. I was expecting him to have gone by that point, and he didn't. So yeah, that is what it is, and we move. But yeah, P4 for us at the moment. If these guys in front also pit, I think Dougie's on the hards, whereas Dustin and Blitz are both on the mediums. So maybe those medium runners will box, I'm not sure. But Blitz is round, and he does ghost. But I get a bit out of shape trying to avoid him. I didn't want to have a repeat of what happened in the Netherlands with Mark and Antoine. So I got out of the way, and that allowed Alex, Jermaine, and Ryan to go through. And that is 3 positions lost for myself. That is very disappointing because we were running in potentially a very strong position. But you know, you have to take evasive action in those situations. You can't not. You know, you could think about potentially asking for penalties for those guys, because I think there was a yellow flag there technically. I was a little bit annoyed about that. And now Jermaine is round as well. We had to slow up a little bit there to avoid going into him. I think he managed to hold on to it. No spin for him, fortunately. But yeah, a little bit of contact there between Ryan and Jermaine. That promotes us back up into P5. But, you know, we've still got 12 laps to go in this race. And now Phil is putting a bit of pressure on me as well. And he's even thinking about going for a move here by the looks of things as we make our way into the chicane. And yeah, we're doing all right now to hold on to this P5. And there's another safety car, not clear why, but another safety car. I think there was an incident between Mike and Blitz, the 2 Williams teammates. I think Blitz maybe went into the back of Mike, wasn't expecting him to brake so early. That is what I heard, supposedly. He didn't pursue any kind of penalty or anything like that for Mike, but that is what I heard happened in that scenario. Gave Blitz a bit of damage. Ultimately didn't really change anything because Blitz was already at the back and he pitted and was able to catch up anyway, so it didn't make too much of a difference. We actually make a bit of contact there with Ryan. I'm very surprised we didn't get any wind damage. I just wasn't expecting the train here to be going so slow again. I've been getting caught out with that quite a lot, and yeah, that was no exception. We're running in P4 at the moment. I guess Dustin boxed as well, so yeah, potential for us to maybe make up another position as we actually make a bit of contact there with Ryan again. Same thing that happened with Blitz on the previous safety car restart happened to us on this occasion as well, where we just weren't expecting him to be going so slowly. And even Phil actually got caught out by it a little bit, and that explains why there's such a big gap between myself and Phil here. And yeah, that has allowed me to break away a little bit and hold on to this P4. So yeah, we'll see if we can do it. The rain is coming. It says it's only a few laps away now. So we do have the potential to maybe do well here. I don't know. We'll see. We need to make sure that we pull the trigger onto those intermediate tyres at the exact right time. Otherwise, we may be in a bit of trouble. And there's another safety car, a 3rd safety car here. Not clear what that one was for at all. I actually didn't get clarification on what this one was for either from anyone. So yeah, this one will forever remain a mystery to me. But, you know, I guess it really is true what they say. Safety cars breed safety cars. We went a few laps without them, and then the last 7 laps have basically all been running under safety car. So, yeah, very interesting. And now, as we move on to lap 12, end of lap 12, beginning of lap 13, you can see there was just a drop of rain there. I didn't catch it when I was actually racing. I was adamant I hadn't seen it, but Dougie and Alex are both into the pits, and that has promoted me up into P2. However, I think they're going onto the intermediate tyres. And if they catch the safety car before the end of this lap, which I'm almost certain they will, that is going to mean that they are probably going to have made the right call here. It depends on how heavy the rain gets here. If the rain doesn't get heavy enough, then that could have been the wrong call, but I think it probably was. And they say the rain is going to keep getting heavier for 15 minutes. There's no chance for me to do what they did in Belgium, where they stayed out through the rain. I don't think that's going to work here, especially because we're coming off of a safety car. I'm going to have to box for inters, and we have absolutely fumbled the bag here. We are going to be going down to last. We're going to be going on to the intermediate tyres, and yeah, this was an absolute disaster class from us on strategy. If we'd have come in on the previous lap when those guys came in as well, we would be running in P3 right now and potentially looking to challenge for a podium position quite comfortably, I would argue as well. But because we've messed up the strategy here, we're going to be down in P16, and there are a few other people who haven't pitted yet, Ryan himself included. He has really made a blunder here, and he's going to have to do everything he can. I think Dustin didn't pit onto a set of inters either. So yeah, we've got NWE in the Alfa Romeo retiring from the race in the pits actually. Ando coming into the pits for inters as well. Mint and Phil too. We do manage to jump Phil, so that's good at least. So we are back up into P12 but the chance of us even scoring points here are looking pretty dire right now. Never mind the chance of getting a podium. I can't believe that this has happened. I'm absolutely devastated for my chances in this championship. We would have been ahead of Ryan for sure. We would have been ahead of Phil for sure. We probably would have been ahead of Lewis Crazy as well, because he messed up the strategy a little bit earlier on as well. So this is really, really disappointing for us. We had a really good opportunity to do something good here, and we absolutely fumbled it. Now we're just driving off the track and everything. Blitz is round again. He is going to be ghosted, but again, I couldn't quite trust it until the last second. And once again, that has allowed Phil to capitalize on me this time. So that's 2 times that blitz spinning has caused me to lose position. I'm starting to get very frustrated about that. But what can you do? And Blitz has retired from the race, in fact, in the pit lane. He decided he didn't think this race was worth continuing after all the spins that he's had. And we actually got our first warning for track limits there as well. So we do need to be a little bit careful not to get any penalties or anything like that. But we are up into P11 at the moment. We would be in P10 if it weren't for Phil there getting past us on that blitz incident. But Phil seems to have a bit more pace than us anyway. Now Dustin has finally decided that these conditions aren't worth driving in anymore. So he's come into the pits, and somehow, despite the fact that he's been running on the hard tyres for the last 4 laps, he's still ahead of us. I don't understand at all. I guess we must be on that crossover period right now, where the inters are marginally faster than the dries, but not so much faster that it's going to make a huge difference. I think now is only about the time that that's going to really start coming into play. You can still see that Ryan is still all the way up in P3. It is Dougie from Anto, now from, I believe, Lewis, and then Ryan. So, yeah, he's actually not done too badly there. I don't know what happened with Ringy, but if he has some kind of incident, that was disappointing for me as well, because it means I could have been P2 right now. GG Josh had some kind of spin there. That's disappointing for him. That means that he is now down outside of the points as well. And, yeah, I'm not sure what happened with him, but hopefully we'll be able to stay ahead of him. Maybe he's got damage. I'm not sure. And, yeah, this is starting to look not too bad for us here. As we're going to be up into P9 here, you can see that Mark has actually left the session. He's still on the hard tyres. He's clearly his AI is clearly trying to drive this one out on a set of dry tyres. Not sure that one's going to work out for him, and it does mean that yeah, we're promoted up into P9. I don't know if we're going to be able to make up any more positions after this. Maybe on Ryan, I don't know. I'm trying to look where he is now. He's just at the end of the first corner. And he is on those. He's on those dry tyres still, the hard compound tyres. They're not going to be particularly fast for him, you'd have to imagine. I do think that there is an opportunity for us maybe to try and get past it. He's trying to fight with every fibre of his being, but I don't think it's going to be possible for him on those dry tyres. You know, the dry tyres are going to be losing multiple seconds a lap, like 5+ seconds a lap to the intermediates at this point. And we're kind of in a bit of a no man's land, so he's going to be about the most interesting thing we've got to worry about at this stage, I would say. Dustin is coming up to overtake him now. Will he be able to get past him? Yes, he will. And you can see that the gap to Ryan is 8.8 seconds. Is that just a little bit too far to close down before the end of the lap? I don't know. We'll find out. I think Phil will certainly be able to get him, and so this does throw a little bit of spice into the battle between the three of us. Obviously, like I said, Phil not racing in those last 2 races does mean that it's probably just going to be between me and Ryan, this P4, as we're fighting over at the moment, especially considering that both Lewis and Ringy are going to be picking up some big points here in the championship, 15 and 12 respectively, if Lewis can't get Anto on the line there. Dougie wins once again. Phil's got past Ryan. The gap to Ryan is 3.5 seconds, but we've only got a couple corners left. I just don't see how it's going to be possible for us to catch him. So it is going to be P9 for us, P8 for Ryan. He's managed to hold on to some points at least, despite that. And, well, he's actually gone off the track there, you can see. And he's got a 3-second time penalty. There is a real chance that we could catch him now through these final few corners if he's got a slow exit. Even though he cut the corner, he did have a bit of a slow exit. So we do manage to catch him. We got him. Just about 6/10 was the gap in the end, and that is us up into P8. So we started this race P8, we finished this race P8. It doesn't really tell the full story of what might have been. That could have easily been P2 for us, I think. We could have probably held off Anto and Lewis for those final few laps, I would say. But alas, that is the end of the race for us, and we finished just about where we started. So yeah, I'm not too happy with that. I really do think we could have had the opportunity to get a few more points here. It's another situation, a bit like Belgium, a bit like Spain, where we just didn't quite get the strategy right. We were very close to getting the strategy right, but we didn't quite get it right, and that made all the difference. That one lap of indecision was the difference maker here. Dougie with the victory, Anto P2, and Lewis Crazy taking P3. That mathematically secures the championship for Dougie Falcons with just 2 races left to go. He can't be caught, so he will be taking home the top prize here in this league. Maybe if Dustin hadn't started racing halfway through the season, there could have been more of an opportunity for him to take a few points off Dougie earlier in the season. Dougie was absolutely a dominant force for the beginning of the season, and yeah, he no longer can be caught, so congratulations to him. And yeah, the battle for the top spots in the championship starting to heat up a little bit now, as Lewis takes P3 there, Ringy P4, only 3 points separate them in the championship as well, and only a few points separating myself, Phil, and Ryan as well. But that is it for now. Next race is going to be at the Brazilian Grand Prix, so hopefully you catch me then. But that is going to be it for this video. If you enjoyed, please make sure you like and subscribe, and hopefully I will see you in the next one.